the Lebanese border with Syria has been under the regime and Hezbollah domination, or they've been in that part for the past 2 years, since 2013. So there will not be a refugee spillover to Lebanon, because the fighting is in the north. So I think that the biggest problem would be Turkey. And if you remember, the last time we were on the show, we were talking about how I had been on the refugee trip from Turkey to Germany, and how I personally think that Turkey is somehow facilitating the refugee crisis to Europe. So what would more numbers in Turkey mean? And to go back to the donor conference, because it's all linked together. Countries get together and they pledge billions of dollars. Those billions of dollars they go to a result of the crisis. The refugee crisis is the result of the fighting on the ground. So if we do not focus on what is happening in Syria, whatever is around the crisis, which is the refugee crisis, will keep demanding more money.
All right, so let me ask you about that, Carol. $10 billion
yes.
pledged this Thursday in London. How would that money be better spent, in your view?
I think the money should be spent in trying to find a political solution, but a political solution with the people involved directly in the crisis and their proxies, as you had already said. However, we need to, if the Western countries who claim to be the friends of the opposition have to first endorse the people inside. A lot of people leave Syria not just because of the fighting, but they leave it for financial reasons, for economic reasons. Money has not been being pumped in the rebel-held territories for the past 5 years. So how were people, expected to live in dire economic conditions? They are willing to fight. They are willing to take live under constant aerial bombardment, previously by the Syrian regime and now by the Russians. But if there is no form of sustainable development or any form of holding those people in the ground, or keeping them in their hometowns or in their villages, so that they can sustain this whole war, I think people will eventually leave, not just because of fighting, but also because of the economic crisis. So if the friends of the opposition want people to stay put, they need to start thinking of supporting the people inside, and not just with weapons, but also financially, so that they can survive.